just so many things to get excited about each year in the cross stitch community. And this is the time of year for WIP parades. A WIP parade is where we like to share and show you all of the works in progress that we worked on in the previous year. And today I'm going to show you mine. Hello, Flosstube. I am feeling so much better. If you follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, you know that the very next day after I did my last video, I tested positive for COVID. It was not pretty. I was pretty miserable, but oh my gosh, guys, I'm feeling so much better now. And thank you so much to those of you who checked on me. I'm feeling so much better. Thank you for that. Welcome to the Black Ribbon Stitch Studio annual year-end WIP parade. This year, I've chosen to show only those WIPs that I've actually touched this year. So I'm going to start with the beginning of 2022 and end with what I'm currently stitching on. Some of the things that I'm currently stitching on, I did stitch on also earlier in the year, so they'll kind of be interspersed throughout there, here and there. I'm going to try not to ramble too much, but of course there is a bit of rambling when you're doing a WIP parade, so bear with that. Let's see, what else? My WIPs are in my project bag, so there's gonna be zipping and unzipping. I apologize if that bothers you, but that's kind of how we do things around here. So let's start with some statistics. So I started 2022 with 37 WIPs. I now have, ready, 57 WIPs. It's okay though. I started a lot of things. I stitched on a total of 33 WIPs, and of those, I have 3 finishes, all of which have been FFO'd, and you can see all of my FFOs in my last video. Let's see. 19 of those 33 WIPs were new starts in 2022, which is why I now have so many WIPs. So that means that 28, if my math is correct, if my math is wrong, you can totally correct me. But if my math is correct, I did not touch 28 WIPs. And so I will not be sharing those 28 WIPs with you here today. I'm extremely pleased with my progress considering the year that I had. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I lost my dear husband this year. And I absolutely have been stitching my way through. My name is Denise. If you're new here, today is Saturday, January 14th, and this is a special edition Flosstube WIP Parade. If you're new here, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back to hang out with me and spend some time. I love it. We will return to our regular Flosstube format in 2 weeks. So let me just also quickly explain my rotation, which I came up with this year, did tweak it a bit, but I think I kind of like it now. So in an effort to stitch down my WIPs, finish things, I am forcing myself. That sounds really too forceful, but I've made an agreement with myself, let's put it that way, to stitch on a certain amount of WIPs before I actually have a new start from my to be started pile. Now, I did have, as I said, I had 19 new starts this year, but the majority of those were stitch-alongs because I am addicted to stitch-alongs. I am addicted to Fat Quarter Shop, and I always just want to start all the things. So, consequently, I don't get a chance really to start things from my to be started pile. And so I want to do that. Now, how do I manage all of this? I use the app on my phone called Tiny Decisions. One of the wheels on there is all of my WIPs. I spin to see what WIP is going to be my next focus WIP. Then I spin another wheel that tells me the duration. How many days am I going to stitch on this WIP? Okay, so that works for me really well. Also, I have another wheel. No, I have another wheel that tells me how many WIPs I need to work on before I can start a new start from my to be started pile. All of this is working out wonderfully for me. I love it. I love that I don't have to think. I feel really pleased with the fact that at this time, I really do like all of my projects. So it doesn't matter what comes up on the wheel. I don't care that you tell me what to do because I actually enjoy stitching on all of my projects. I do have some full coverages. And so what I've set out to do is, if I spin a full coverage, I will then stitch on it for the rest of the month. And I have one of those here to show you today. So, I hope I didn't leave anything out. That's the basic idea of what I do and how I stitch. And so we are just gonna go ahead and get started and go through all of these WIPs. So the first thing that I worked on in 2022 was Crossword by Long Dog Samplers. And I started this in 2020. I started it and then I didn't like what was happening, so I did a restart. And so this is what it's gonna look like when it's done. Crossword. Beautiful, right? And this is where I am so far. And so I'm stitching this on 18 count black Aida using one strand of thread. And I absolutely love this. And yeah, can't wait until it's done. And I'm using DMC's, my own, I chose my own colors. Okay. Then I started, this was my new start, and I do believe it was my new year, new start for 2022. And I actually pulled out two projects, but that's okay. And it is Vintage Housewife by Lori Holt. It is a Fat Quarter Shop stitch along, and it was a year-long stitch along, and I actually did stitch on this all year. Except I didn't get very far because at one point I was doing a one strand of floss a day in the project, and I did discover later on in the year that really wasn't going to work for me. So here is how far I've gotten on that. And my big thing was, it seemed like it took me forever to finish this March block. So I did finally finish it, and I'm very happy with that. So yeah, can't wait to pick that up again. This is being stitched on 25 count Lugana, 2/2. And I have converted most of the colors to be more appealing to me than they are in the actual chart. So that is Vintage Housewife. All right. The next thing that I stitched on was Stationery Addict. And that is a chart by Little Love Designs. I started it in 2021. It's supposed to be a birthday gift for my daughter. So her birthday is on the 7th. And so I try to stitch on this on the 7th of every month. I did stitch on it in December. And I have to tell you, I don't know. I think I'm getting tired of it. Well, let me show you what it's supposed to look like when it's done. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. So my daughter chose all of her own colors without seeing the chart. And that was fun to do. So I'm stitching it in all of her favorite colors. And this is how far I've gotten. And I feel like it's taking me way longer than it should. So this is definitely one that I am anxious to get done. I don't know if continuing to stitch on it one day a month is gonna work. But I want to get it done. I've been stitching on this since 2021, and I would love to go ahead and give it to her. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. What would be great would be if I would spin it on the Tiny Decisions wheel and maybe work on it for a few days at a time. That would be helpful. Okay. The next thing I worked on, and I believe you saw this fairly recently, and it is the Barbara Anna Mystery Style. And the last time I shared it with you, I didn't have the actual name. I will insert a photo here of what it's going to look like when it's done. And she's actually called Frida Kahlo. And it is a 2022 new start. And I love it. And this is how far I've gotten. Making great progress. Sorry for the wrinkles, guys. I don't believe in ironing my projects until I'm done. So there's that. It's just so beautiful. And let me see. I am stitching this on 32 count Azure Blue Lugana. And this is the called for fabric, and I'm using all of the called for DMCs. It's absolutely stunning. I love it. I love it. Okay. So the next thing that I worked on was another new start. And this is a stitch along that I'm doing with Colette, the Highway Stitcher. Hi, Colette. Colette is done. I am not. I'm almost done. And again, I think I shared this with you fairly recently. And it's called To a Friend's House. And it's by Mary Engelbright, whom we both love. Very simple, but very pretty. And this is how far I've gotten. And really, guys, I am just like one more day and I'll be done, because the only thing that's left to do here is finish actually stitching the polka dots. There's a tiny bit of back stitch, and then I'm done. So then I just have to go ahead and FFO it and send it off to my friend. Isn't it gorgeous? I love it. I love it so much. It was such a fun stitch along. Such a fun stitch along. Okay, then I stitched on my Christmas alphabet ornament, which again, you may have seen recently that I did a restart on this. I stitched the letter A on perforated plastic, and then I recently turned that into an ornament, but I decided that I wanted to stitch them on fabric, so I started again and stitched the A. The A is all done, but then I started on the B. And I think this is the top. I think that's the way it goes. Ooh, no blowouts, please. Okay. And yes, I plan to do all 26 letters, so I kind of need to get going. I kind of need to get going. I think I'm stitching this on 18 count white Ada. And so, yeah, I started that in 2020. Come on now. It's 2023. Can I get some letters done? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This year will be better all the way around. Okay. The next project is a stitch along, another stitch along, started in 2022, and it is the Summer Home Stitch Along by Fat Quarter Shop. That is I love it. I love this so much. In fact, I am currently stitching on this, and so it's still in the hoop. This is my current focus project. This is adorable. It says Home Sweet Home. And the difference here is that instead of stitching this teal house in teal, I am going to stitch it in yellow. And guys, look at the cute box. My daughter's calling me. For the flosses. Here are the flosses that I'm using. And so I substituted that teal out for this butternut squash by Gentle Arts. Because, yeah, I like a yellow house. I like a cute little yellow house. So, as I said, I'm stitching on that right now. And I'm going to put a few days in it. If I'm lucky, I'll finish. But it's an easy stitch. This fabric is thin white pine board, 14 count Ada by Fabric Flare. Can you see that? Oh, everything is so blown out today. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So, yeah, I'm working on that right now. Such an easy stitch. I feel as if I can finish it. And that's the point, isn't it? For us, sometimes. Not always. All right, the next thing that I worked on was all the trimmings. Another stitch along. However, this one started in 2021. And it is a fat quarter sharp stitch along. This is what it will look like when it's done. I love this. I love this so much. And this is how far I've gotten. Which I must say, guys, I'm almost at the end. This is almost done. This is gonna be a finish. If I pick it up again this year, it's gonna be a finish. I love it so much. And it is being stitched on chalkboard black 14 count Ada by WIP, using all of the called for DMCs. This is going to be a finish. The only way it will not be a finish is if I don't pick it up again this year. Oh, that was so sweet. I had to answer the phone. That was my daughter. And she wanted to know if I wanted to go hang out. Aw, that was so sweet. So, yes, this is all the trimmings. And I love it. And I really hope that I can get this done this year. Okay, next is... let's see, another one that I started in 2021. It's almost done. I'm going to insert a photo here of what it's going to look like when it's done. And it is Wakanda Forever by Park Hopper Bart, who, needless to say, I absolutely love his work. And here is where I am. I don't want to show you the back. But I think I have to put something behind this one. Here we go. Again, guys, almost done. Almost done. If I pick it up again this year, it's going to be done. It's going to be done. And I'm so excited about it. I absolutely love it. And I can't wait to have this hanging on my wall. So you see, I feel like I made a lot of progress toward finishes this year. And so, well, last year, 2022. And so this year, it looks like I'm going to have a lot of finishes. If I could just maybe not start all the things, I can't commit. I can't commit. The next thing I worked on was another 2022 start, and it is the Pride Sal by Modern Folk Embroidery. A gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous piece. And here is where I am so far. Not very far at all. This is how far I got, guys. And I am, as you can see, I am stitching this all in black, DMC 310 on, I don't know, like an ecru Ada, 14 count Ada. And so I'm going to stitch it all in black with the exception of the center, which is where I'm going to add the color. Hopefully I can get a lot more progress on this. It's not close enough to a finish where I have any high hopes, but you never know. It's an easy stitch. You never know. So there's that one. Let's see. Then I worked on, it's another 2022 start, guys. Yeah. Things are falling over now. That's okay. It's okay. And it is the Christmas time Stitch Along by Fat Quarter Shop. Here's what it's gonna look like when it's done. And this is how far I've gotten. Again, not that I don't think it's very far, but it's not a very big chart. So I think that's cute. It's a possibility that this could be done. I might need to pull it out a couple of times in order for that to happen. And I am stitching this on the called for, which is natural 14 count Aida. And I am using, am I using DMC? Let's see. No, I am using the called for Classic Colorworks thread pack. It's a possibility. It might get done, but I think I'm gonna have to pull it out a couple of times in order for that to happen. Okay. Then I worked on, it's another 2022 start, see? It is Letters to Santa. Letters to Santa, which is another Fat Quarter Shop stitch along. And this is what it's gonna look like when it's done. You see a theme here, right? Okay. This is so cute. I feel like there's more stitching in it than it looks like there is. And so this is how far I've gotten. Meager. Okay. All right. That's it. We'll see what happens. Stitching this on the called for chalkboard, black 14 count Aida. And I am using the called for DMCs. My stepdaughter is also stitching this, and she's way past me on this. So, there's that. We'll see. See what happens. Okay, next is Mistletoe Lane. Mistletoe Lane is a Fat Quarter Shop stitch along, but I started it in 2020. I feel as if I did not stitch on it last year at all, although I really don't think so. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I lost a little interest in it a little bit because I didn't like the way the leaves and the tree looked. But then I figured out how to make it look the way I want it to look. So then I got excited about stitching on it again. And however, this is how far I've gotten. But at least I got that whole banner done. That was no joke, guys. That banner, that was no joke. So I feel like the rest of it is going to be a breeze. Now that I got this out of the way. It'll be a breeze. So, can I finish it this year? Maybe. Maybe. It's a possibility. Stitching this on 25 count overcast Lugana, and I am using, let's see, all of the called for DMCs. It's a possibility. Okay. So then I picked up and stitched on one of my full coverage pieces, which is African Woman with Peonies 2. And I stitched on this along with Sarah Stitching Mommy and Colette, the Highway Stitcher, because Sarah said so. And here's what it's going to look like when it's done. I absolutely love it. My dear husband purchased this for me when he saw my excitement when I found it. And this is a full coverage that was charted by Artisy. And so I did stitch on it for a few days because I believe we started stitching on it towards the end of the month. And so trying to stay true to my plans, I stitched on it for the rest of the month, which was really just a few days. But this is how far I've gotten. And I love it. I love it. So, yeah. I am anxious to stitch on my full coverage pieces. But, you know, there's only so many hours in a day, days in a week. I love it so much. That will be a joy to get back to. And like I said, once I spin it, I'm stitching on it for the rest of the month. I'm just gonna plug on through. Let's see. What is next? Next is another new start for 2022. And it is Charlotte by Mirabilia. It is my very first Mirabilia. And I was excited to start this in preparation for the Charlotte area. Oh boy, that word just went right out of my head. Retreat, which is happening in October. However, I am not going to be attending, unfortunately. But I'm very happy that it did get me started on stitching Mirabilias. And I have done my own hair and skin conversion. And here is what she looks like now. I try to remember, which I don't know why it's so difficult, but I try to remember to stitch on her on every Monday, because I'm trying to do Mirror Mondays. And so here she is. And I love her a lot. Love her a lot. My stomach is growling, guys. It's okay. I love it so much. And I am stitching this on 32 count Cecil by Seraphim hand-dyed fabrics. Using all of the core 4 DMCs except for the hair and skin conversion that was done by me. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So I hope that I will always have at least one Mirabilia going. And then, you know, just stick with the Mirror Monday routine. But it's really funny how sometimes I pick something else up and I'm just stitching away, and then all of a sudden I say, wait a minute, isn't today Monday? Yes, I do keep a calendar. We're not gonna go into any of that. It's too embarrassing. It's too embarrassing. Okay. Then I started another 2022 new start. And this is one of the Fat Quarter Shop Stitch Quarterlies, which now I'm hooked on that. And it's called Tea Time. See if I could do this without blowing out. Very cute. Very cute. Very small. I like it a lot. And here is my progress. Oh my gosh. This must have been during my 1 strand of floss. I'm telling you guys, I put 1 strand of floss in this and then I put it away. Why? Why? Why do that? Okay, well, thank goodness it's not a very large chart. I'm stitching it on, I have no idea. I'm gonna see if I can find out what fabric this is. I'm going to take it out of the envelope so that, because I really do want to see what fabric this is. I'm stitching it on. Wow. Okay. 28 count mushroom Lugana. And I'm stitching it 2 over 2. And there it is again. So wish me luck. I really like it. I just don't understand why I put one strand of floss in it and that was the end of that. I don't know. Okay. Then at the same time, and this might be the reason, I think at the same time that I started Tea Time, I also started Citrus Summer, which is another Fat Quarter Shop Stitch Quarterly. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. So cute. So cute. I love that lemonade. Those lemons. The lemons is what does it for me. And again, I know before I even open this up that I didn't get very far. I'm scared to look. Yep. Another one of those situations where, wow, 1 strand of floss, guys. What in the world was I thinking? What in the world was I thinking? And I love this fabric. So I'm going to open up this, take it out of the envelope so that I could tell you the name of the fabric. It is called Curved Tile 14 Count Aida by Fabric Flair. That is beautiful. Let me look at that little bit of stitching. Oh my goodness. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So that was what? Citrus Summer. Okay. Then I stitched on, it's another stitch along, and it is a 2022 start. And it is Flowers and Bees by Doreen Jones. And I'm not even really sure if I have a photo of this, but if I do, I will put it here. And then I can show you how far I've gotten. Oh my gosh, guys. Yeah, not very far. Not very far at all. I'm not sure if I'm looking at what I'm looking at. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here's my little meager start. Just working on the border. But the thing is, there's a lot of color changes in the border. So that could explain why there's such a little done. Oh my gosh, this is like a whole thing, and I can't believe this is all I did. And I'm stitching it on 32 count white Lugana, and I'm stitching it 2 over 2. Wow, this like I really have nothing else to say for myself on that, except hopefully I'll get back to this year. Hopefully. This light is bothering me like I cannot even tell you. It might be the light from outside that's doing it more. Wow. See, there's a lot of color changes. But I will get back to it. I will get back to it. All right. Next is another 2022 new start. And it is called Favorite Color by Park Hopper Bark. So tiny, so adorable. I love the whole concept of stitching the chart in the color and using the number of the color there. And so what I chose to do was to stitch my apartment number because I want to hang this on my door, maybe on a wreath. And however, there was no DMC color to match my apartment number. And so I am using Anchor 302. And this is how far I got. So yes, I just need to sit with it another day, maybe 2, and be done. I love it. And of course, I'm stitching it on Black Aida. I do believe this is 16 count Black Aida. Using 2 strands. I love it. Yep. I love it. And so I'm still like, this is still in my current rotation. So it shouldn't take me much longer at all to get that all done. The numbers are charted as well. So we have that. Okay, next is Christmas Eve by Prairie Schooler. I started this in 2021. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. Except my friend Deb stitched 4 reindeer. And I really want to do that. I want to stitch 4 reindeer. Because it just makes so much more sense. And hers is beautiful. So I'm copying her. And this is how far I've gotten. I've got all of Santa done. Started on the houses on the bottom. It is a joy to stitch. I love stitching on this. I love stitching on this. It would be great if I could finish it this year in time for Christmas. And I'm stitching it on 16 count Aida Graceful Gray. Using all of the called for DMCs. Isn't it cute? I love it so much. And of course, I did a color conversion on his skin. I'm using DMC 801 in case you want to know which color I'm using for his skin. DMC 801. So then I also worked on, and I'm not even sure if this is in the right order, but I also stitched on Christmas Eve Sampler by Joan Elliott. And, you know, doing the WIP parade like this, where I'm just showing you what I stitched on in 2022, lets me know that I need a new way of keeping track, so that I want to just create just a running list of everything that I stitch on in 2023. So that's what it's going to look like when it's done. It is amazing. It's gorgeous. And this is where I am. I'm stitching it on red, Christmas red, 14 count Ada. And there it is. I love it so much. Gosh, I love this piece. And it is a joy to stitch on this. It's a joy. I love it so much. So there's that one. I think I have my share. I'm stitching on my share of Christmas stitches because above all, I enjoy Christmas stitching more than anything. So I've got quite a bit of Christmas stitches going. Let's see. My oldest WIP is Timeless Wisdom by Stony Creek. And let me see. This is the one that I'm stitching. When You Are Kind. And here's the Stony Creek booklet. And I think I made some good progress this year when I picked it up. I don't think I have that much more to go. So this is a possibility. It's very possible that I'm going to finish it this year. Yeah, this is almost done. So this could potentially be a finish in 2023. Yeah, I love it. I can't even tell you when I started working on it. It was so long ago. And then I dug it out and I said, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish this. I originally started stitching it for my son. And I'm not sure right now whether, I'm not even sure if I'm still going to give it to him or not. I'll probably ask him if he wants it. So that was my very oldest WIP that I still have going. All right, more new starts, guys. Oh my gosh, more 2022 starts. The next one I'm going to share is, there's two Halloween ones. The first one is Spookography, which this might take a little wrangling here. So I think I stuffed everything in the one envelope. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done. This is a fat quarter shop stitch along. Oh yes, Spookography. And I know before I pull it out, I didn't get very far on this. Let's see how embarrassingly far it is. Oh boy, WIP parades are so much fun. Okay, this is how far I got. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. I will get back to it. I really like it. I will get back to it. And I'm pretty sure this is 14 count white Ada. Yep. And I'm using the called for DMCs. And so I don't have anything else to say about that. It is what it is. So that's Spookography. And then the other one that's sharing the same project bag, because why not, is let's see, Halloween Town. And all I have is a black and white photo of it. But I think you can get the idea. Halloween Town. Another stitch along with Fat Quarter Shop. Because I'm obsessed. Yep. And this is how far, guys, I love this is how far I got. One strand of floss, get ready. Oh boy. What in the world was I thinking? I don't know. Maybe I wasn't thinking. This fabric is Spooky Cobweb 14 count Ada by Fabric Flair. Beautiful, beautiful fabric. I love it so much. I'm anxious to get back to these. I am anxious to get back to them. And I am using, look at the cute box for the floss, right? And I am using all of the called for DMCs. Yep. There's so much work to do, guys. But it makes me so happy to know that there is this much to do. So I'm not gonna never run out of stuff to stitch. Okay. So that was some Halloween fun. Then another project that I'm working on currently is some gift stitching. I'm stitching this for a friend of mine, and it is C by Rovaris. I love it so much, and I think I'm making really good progress on it. This should be done in no time. Here we go. Almost finished with that A. And just have the little doodads to go, the coral and the anchor. Just those little doodads to go. And I'm stitching this on Antique Lace by Seraphim Hand Dyed Fabrics. It is 32 count Lugana. And I love it. I love stitching on it. And as I said, this shouldn't take too much longer at all. I can't wait to send this to my friend. She's going to be so excited. She doesn't know anything about it, but she's going to love it, and she's going to be so excited. And it came with this little anchor. I don't want to show the chart. Okay. Yep. So cute. So cute. And then we all know, if you've been following me, that I've been working on, and I'm currently working on Rosina Dizery by Works by ABC. This is what it will look like when it's done. This was one of a very few samplers that we have found that have been stitched by an African-American woman. So it is very, very meaningful to me. So I constantly work on it because I want it up on my walls as soon as possible. And this is how far I've gotten. I think I'm making great progress here. Great progress. This will be done. This will be done in no time. What is taking the longest amount of time, of course, is the over one words. The first time I've ever stitched over one on, I believe this is 32 count. 32 count. Earthen Lugana by Picture This Plus. I love it. I love it, and I am concentrating on a finish on this. It needs to be framed, and it needs to be hanging in my home. Love it so much. We're almost at the end, if you could believe that. Because I'm really now, most of the rest of these are, projects that I'm currently working on. I'm rotating through them. Okay. The next one is African American Father Christmas, which I started this year as a 2022 start. I am not currently working on it, but this is what he's going to look like when he's done. This is by Amelin. I love it so much. He's so elegant. He reminds me so much of a Mirabilia. And I just love it. I love stitching on it. And I haven't gotten that far. I started in the middle. And so I am currently stitching his jacket on 32 count platinum Zweigart Lugana. And there it is. There's my middle start. Again, it is a pleasure to stitch on this. It's a pleasure. I love it a lot. The one thing about this chart is that it is an old chart. Therefore, it is handwritten, and the chart itself is huge. It's one piece and it's huge. And so since I did a middle start on it, I simply copied the middle section and started with that. And I'll just copy the sections as I go along in order to stitch it. The next one is another 2022 start. Gosh, I really started all the things in 2022. And I think that's okay. It's okay. As long as I'm having a good time, right? Why can't you just have a good time? Okay. I started this in 2022, and this is more gift stitching. And it is a hippo by KEB Studio Creations. I won this chart in a giveaway. And I just think he's the cutest. And I know my friend is going to love it. So I decided to stitch it for her. And this is how far I've gotten. This seems to be a little bit tedious. But I'm going to continue to plug on through. I'm currently working on this one. And here's where I've gotten. These are his nostrils. Started in the middle, going up, and then I'll come back down and be done. So he's cute. He's cute. My friend will like him a lot. Then I have recently, one of my more recent focus projects was the No More Sampler by Birdie's Crossing. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I love it so much. And I am stitching it in black and white. And I do believe, let's see, this is 16 count white Ada. And using 2 strands of floss. And here it is. Making progress. It's a lot of stitches in this. I'm making progress, and when I pull it out, I love it. I love it a lot. I love this. So I will just continue stitching on it whenever it comes up in the rotation. It's lovely. I love it a lot. And then the next one I want to show you, I actually started this month. So it's a 2023 start, but I thought that I would throw it in here since I am also currently working on this. And it is called Say Sushi. And I totally dropped something. But I totally bought this because of my beautiful baby angel. I love this chart so much. And I need this to be hanging. So I'm currently working on it all the time. It's in my rotation. And I made a little bit of progress. So this is his collar and his face, part of his face, and the other part of his face is orange. And although Angel's not an orange kitty, I thought that I would keep it the same color because I really do like the coloring of it. I like the coloring of it. So, there's that. I'm going to pick up these beads before I forget. The beads are going to be like the, the row that's on top of some sushi that you got, which I don't particularly care for the row, but that's just me. Okay, so guys, that's it. That was my 2022 WIP parade. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm happy that you stopped by to watch with me. As I said, I will have a regular Flosstube coming up in 2 weeks. And in that Flosstube, I will be talking about my plans for 2023. And I have some giveaways that need to be given away, which reminds me, if you want a giveaway on my last video, you need to go ahead and contact me by email at designmorris1@gmail.com so that you can claim your prize. Let's see. Kelly, I haven't sent yours out yet, but I hope to get that out this week. And guys, please do follow me on Instagram, Black Ribbon Stitch Studio. Follow me on Facebook, Black Ribbon Stitch Studio. I hope you all have a happy new year. I love that it is a new year and we're getting, it's like a fresh start. Here we go. The sky's the limit. The world is our oyster. What else? Okay, I love you guys. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.